Hey you guys, it's Bright. Tonight we're here with a new episode of Garbage. I hate to call it an episode because it's really not that serious, but this is a series that I do where I compile multiple different topics into one video and we can just talk about all of the nonsense that's going on. As of lately, these are things that right now just don't really need their own dedicated videos, so I figured it's time. But if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, and if you've never seen one of these videos before, I try to put timestamps in my description box as to when I talk about certain things. I'm going to be covering Adaptive Kate in this video. I want to make a correction to a prior Gypsy Rose Blanchard video that I made. I'd also like to talk about this new TikTok account that is stealing content and posting it as their own, which is just, it's a really weird genre to repost as well. And I also want to talk about MRBEAST, not Mr. Beast, MRBEAST. And he was just recently awarded by the Rolling Stone magazine, and I had some thoughts. So that's the lineup for today. Let's just start with MRBEAST because I was literally sitting down to get ready to film. I logged onto Instagram and I saw this post right here that said he was ranked. He was basically rewarded for being an influential creator by Rolling Stone magazine. Now, Rolling Stone magazine is obviously a very big publication. They get a lot of attention, a lot of readers, a lot of just engagement on social media. They have a pretty big following on Instagram. Let me check their numbers. They have 7.5 million followers on Instagram alone, and that obviously doesn't include other platforms where they get exposure and engagement. But they posted this, the 25 most influential creators of 2024, and MRBEAST was ranked number 3. I have talked about what's going on with MRBEAST as of lately, and his colleagues, his close friends, his partners that he decides to stand so close to and create content with. I've talked about that, so I'll link those other videos down below, but this is just another example of a mainstream media site platforming the wrong individual. Like, do these editors and people that come up with these ranking systems and who to cover and who not to cover, do they do even 5 seconds of research? Or the other question is, are they aware and they just don't care? Because it's one or the other. Either we have people that are not looking into the individuals that they're putting a spotlight on and saying, wow, this is an influential person, this is somebody that you should follow, this is somebody that is doing good on social media. Either they are not doing any research and allowing these things to just make it to publication with nobody checking it and saying this is a really bad look, or they are fully aware and they're saying, let's go ahead and publish this, and maybe the call out comments and the negativity will help us in the algorithm, because some companies don't care. There are so many of these brands and big companies that are worth millions or billions of dollars that are willing to put awful individuals in the spotlight, give them a platform. And I know that MRBEAST doesn't necessarily need attention from Rolling Stone magazine, but I don't appreciate bad people being given a spotlight or positive recognition. How about let's do an article on all of the things that have been exposed as of the last couple months with MRBEAST? How about that, instead of saying he's the 3rd most influential person? Let's also talk about the bad influence that he has been involved in and the shady and very sketchy characters that he has chosen to do business with and be real life, very close friends with. Let's focus on that instead of doing something like this nonsense. All right, so second, let's talk about this TikTok account that I came across. I did not note the literal username, but I will throw it right here on the screen. Not that any of y'all are going to go follow this account, but just for context. I came across this really bizarre page. This account is reposting caregivers, caretakers. They're reposting the content on this page and calling it like Caretaker Central, where they're showing TikTok creators that are posting things like a shower routine for somebody who is in the end stages of life, or a hygiene routine for somebody that might be struggling with dementia. Things like this. They're reposting this content, and this is just such a weird concept to me. It's as weird as family vlogger fan accounts that sit there and make fan accounts of children. It's so bizarre. But this again goes back to when you're putting content on social media and you think that it's doing one thing, it's actually doing quite the opposite. And there are a few people on this account who have passed, and this content is still out there for people to consume. Things like hygiene routine, tough moments, shower routine, whatever it is that the video was about. So this person is not even living anymore, and they have their shower routine that was posted by a caregiver on this completely random account that is posting this and sometimes accepting compliments as if it's them who is the caregiver. I was very confused, put off, and just, it was yet another reminder of it matters what you're posting on social media. It matters that you're possibly sharing really intimate moments of somebody who could pass, and then that content is out there for. I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't going to make a dedicated video about this because it really doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. But I recently, in the last month or two, deleted a video, and I don't usually delete videos because I would rather just make a correction. Unless it's a really big issue, then of course I'll delete it. But I had done a video talking about Lisa Federico. She was a caregiver for her mother, and I put out a video saying that, you know, Lisa was sharing that her mother was at the end of the road, and I was hoping that her mother's final chapters would be protected. It was very clear that she was still being put into content, and I shared my opinion about that. I learned that Lisa's mother had passed. Instead of, you know, leaving the video out there, I chose to delete it. And that's not to like give myself a pat on the back or anything, but it's just to say that sometimes the resharing of content is not always meaningful. And I felt like because I made that video and just a short time later her mother ended up passing, I did not feel good about my video being out there so recently. So I removed it. I don't know. I hope that there is a bigger conversation, just like everyone's talking about kids and family vloggers and child privacy and stuff. That privacy should also be extended to people that are dealing with dementia, Alzheimer's. They're at the end of their life and they're being utilized so heavily for content. And this is not a situation, this account that I mentioned earlier, it's not a situation where it's a nurse or a doctor resharing this content with permission from the family to educate or inform on things that are happening in said video. It's not that. It's just reposting, not giving the original creator credit, and responding to comments as if this random account is the person actually doing the caregiving. Very weird. I don't get it, but I would like the conversation to extend past kids' privacy, let's also talk about elders' privacy. Nobody should be utilized that heavily for content when they might not even be here for another 6 months, another year, another 2 years. And here you are using them to become popular on social media, and then they're going to pass, and all of this content, some of which could be embarrassing, is left on your page while you're out here gallivanting and you got famous off of exploiting your loved one that was dying. That's sick and twisted to me personally. Okay, let's move on to what most of y'all are probably here for. Obviously, everyone's interested in the Gypsy Rose circus. First, I would like to make a correction to a video that I had previously published. I have pinned a comment on that video, but just in case y'all have already watched it and you don't go back to it, I'd like to correct myself here as well. Gypsy had put out a video on TikTok saying that she was shopping for her nursery, as she pronounced it. I said in that video that she went to Michael's because she had been banned from Hobby Lobby. I was wrong. She was actually at Hobby Lobby, proving yet again that she does not think that the laws, rules, or anything applies to her. She's just not really doing anything that's worthwhile. Like her and Ken are over here shopping for her nursery at Michael's, and who'd care, you know? Just popping this in here, I wonder why Gypsy and Ken didn't go to Hobby Lobby. Let's learn why from Becca Scoops in her new video. Here you go.
That's when Dee Dee also started a series of criminal activities along with putting Gypsy in the wheelchair. Dee Dee also started shoplifting items of little to no value when she could afford to buy the items. This shoplifting was so frequent, it culminated with police intervention. It is known by law enforcement that by the time someone gets arrested for certain crimes like shoplifting, they probably have gotten away with it numerous times. According to police records, Dee Dee had a bogus letter from a doctor claiming Gypsy had some type of metallic device inside her body that would set off the sensors. So if alarms went off while they were leaving a store, she would whip out this doctor's note. However, Dee Dee and Gypsy's antics at Hobby Lobby happened one too many times, and the manager got very suspicious. Police were called, and they found several items that Gypsy had tucked in secret places inside her wheelchair. Hobby Lobby did not press charges, but banned the mom and daughter duo from the craft store for life. According to Cambridge University.
In that video, I said, oh, well, she went to Michael's because she's banned from Hobby Lobby. But she actually didn't go to Michael's. She just thinks that the rules don't apply to her, and she went to Hobby Lobby. So while I thought for just a quick second, I was like, you know what? Maybe she knows, and that's why she went to Michael's. I was wrong. She doesn't care, yet again. Something else that has been going on, especially over on TikTok, is Conspiracy and Nina, Flawless Nina, Nina the Beauty Influencer, have been sharing that Gypsy Rose is allegedly sending bots into their comment sections to say, hey, you should get on the opposite creators panel because stuff is going down, you need to get over there, whatever. And it's all fake. It's all fake. When these comments are coming through, these creators are not on live stream, they're not dragging one another. It is basically fabricated drama in order to try to make creators dislike one another. So of course I will insert what both of them had to say about this.
So it would appear allegedly and in my opinion that Gypsy Rose Blanchard or Gypsy Rose Blanchard's PR team are now paying for bot accounts to comment in videos about her to pit content creators against each other. So not only are they specifically targeting me and Nina by filing false copyright claims against our YouTube channels, we now have this going on in my comments. So these comments are from this video that I made about Dan. You can click this comment to go back and look. So in those comments, we have comments like this. Hop in Nina's box, she's making accusations. Girl, Katie Joy is going off on you right now on her panel. Another, hop in Nina's box, she's making accusation. Nina is yapping. Hey, OMG, go hop on her panel. Nina is yapping. OMG, go hop on her panel. Nina is yapping. And it just goes on and on and on. Well, newsflash, No, she wasn't, because I talked to Nina. None of these things are happening, and when you click on these profiles, this is what they look like. It's typically a profile with very little followers, and then the bio is in another language, which suggests that they're not from the United States. Here's another, and another, and another. These are what we call bot accounts because there's not real people behind them. They're also commenting and typing the exact same things word for word. Besides the comments, there are also content creators that have messaged me saying that they received messages that I had a problem with them when I have never even spoke about or to that content creator. So they're trying to pit us against each other so that we will focus on arguing with each other and not on what we originally make our content about. So if you are a Gypsy Rose Blanchard content creator, please be aware that this is happening and investigate further yourself.
I wasn't on live. There was nothing going on. Conspiracy and I get along very well, but yet these comments are here. I heard allegedly that Gypsy Rose's PR team or company is unethical. Red Banyan? Yes, I'll actually tag them below because this is all alleged, y'all. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it's true because whoever's been trying to turn content creators against each other, but then they've also been using unethical people like Bree. This is all becoming kind of weird. But the fact that every time you turn around, these fake profiles are trying to create drama, that's kind of funny. Red Banyan, if you are doing this, you need to do better. Okay? Because you're supposed to be a crisis team, but because you causing a crisis and it's only going to backfire on your client, if this is true, baby, I would stop playing with it. Stop playing with it, Red Banyan. Stop. If you are doing this, you need to cut it out because your client is blaming you for filing all these false copyright strikes and all of this. They're saying to reach out to you. So it kind of seems like y'all are not really ethical. And I'm kind of interested to see how or why you're even doing stuff like this that's really shows a lack of integrity. And of course you'd work with someone like Gypsy because of that. This is the CEO of this company, Red Banyan. It says founder and CEO. Sir, I sure hope you're being ethical and not doing what your clients are saying that you're doing. I'm just saying. That's what the people are saying. I don't know if it's true, but it's all alleged. And I don't know what you're doing, but Gyp's not a good look for you, honey bunny.
Do I personally have any hardcore proof that Gypsy is the one behind this? I don't, but I think that if we look at her history and we look at the level of toxicity that she has been involved in during her time on social media, combined with falsely copyright striking creators and really having it out for Conspiracy and Nina specifically, 2 and 2 is 4. You know what I mean? Gypsy is really after both of them, and I'm not sure if it's because they get high engagement on TikTok and she wants them to get off TikTok. I don't know if it's something personal. I don't get it. Now, a few people have asked me, have I received anything from Gypsy? I have not, of course, knock on wood. But if she were to, then I would handle it at that point in time. So far, nothing. It really seems like she is just out with vengeance for Conspiracy and Nina. Sir Morbid is also in that group of people that were falsely copyright struck, but to my knowledge, I don't think that he's received this same oh, you should go to so-and-so, they're talking bad about you kind of bot comments. I'll double check, but I haven't seen that. So either way. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is good old adaptive Kate Marie on TikTok, the person that flip-flops every other day, whether she's on social media ranting and raving, whether she's off social media and quiet as a mouse doing things allegedly behind the scenes. She is just all over the place. Trying to keep up with this creator is kind of like chasing a tornado. You never know which way it's going to go, and it's a disaster no matter where she touches down. I happened to come across a live stream this afternoon that Kate was doing over on TikTok. So she's back on her TikTok. I don't know if that's going to last another 7 minutes or 7 months. Time will tell. But she was on there talking about, straight out of context, Barbara. I've covered Barbara and the content that she has made previously, but Kate was on her live saying that she was being stalked and harassed by, she didn't say by Barbara, but it was very obvious that she was talking about Barbara, because she was continuing to say, oh, this person contacted my mom, I'm being stalked, this creator is stalking me. What I want to say is, I felt a little snarky, and I usually don't do this, but I dropped Barbara's channel link in Kate's live. That will probably get me blocked by Kate. I don't really care. But I've said for over 4 years on this channel, if you are going to come onto your platform, whether you have 2 followers or 2 million, if you're going to come out and say, I am being cyberbullied, harassed, and stalked by somebody, you better show the proof. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, we're going to go to court. Oh, we're da-da-da. No. If you are telling your audience that you are literally having your well-being and your safety put at risk because you are being bullied and stalked and harassed, I'm going to want to see the proof. And especially if you're in the seat of somebody who has been proven to fabricate, exaggerate, embellish what actually happened, I'm sorry, I am just not going to automatically jump in the boat of, let's save Kate. Kate is being poorly treated. As much as I don't like when people are actually harassed and stalked online, because that is never okay, point blank, period, I also don't like those claims being put on somebody with zero proof being shown to us as the internet society that is taking in this content, and you want people to be on your side, but at the same time, you're not showing anybody any proof. And unfortunately, your trust has been broken multiple times with people online, just in the short period of time that you've been active. But of course, as always, I will have more content coming. I want to drop in the end of this video. If y'all want to, go follow my Instagram. I'm trying to be really consistent on stories and things like that. I've continued to hear from a few people that you're being unsubscribed from my YouTube channel. The only thing that I can suggest is follow me on Instagram, so then you know when I publish a video. If it doesn't show up in your subscription feed, then maybe double check to see if you weren't unsubscribed. I wish I had a button that could just like fix it all. But yeah, if you want to, it's the same username over on Instagram, and I post little pictures of Axel and other cute dogs that I might come across, and just random little stuff during the day. But either way, that's going to be it for tonight. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.